very, very seriously. It's something that I'd like to think the whole flow community does. Um, and that would end at 10:30, so it would be a fire and LED show from about 9 p.m. till about 10:30, and it would close up. Speaking of Mickey Gertz, we are actually, me and him have been talking that if this proceeds and we go forward, we would even like to mesh what he's doing with the early and whirly bird. And right now he's doing one-offs with the early bird where it's just a one-day concert type thing, where he'd like to support the Wednesday night get down is what our event is called, and he'd like to maybe have some local music there, things of that sort. But I really do, with seeing what they've done in Buffalo with the Delaware Park Flow Jam, and seeing what they do with Rochester every Wednesday, they have Whirly Wednesdays. It's been very successful there, and it's something very unique that, like I said, I didn't know what flow arts was till I seen it. I think that people in Jamestown, there's flow artists in Jamestown that don't even know that they're flow artists, that don't even know that they're interested in being a fire performer. They just don't know it exists. It's a very rare niche that not a lot of people get to experience, and I think being able to push that out to the public and show it to them, that they'll have 10 more of me, people passionate about the flow arts who want to get involved with it, who want to learn. It's a wonderful hobby, it really is. It's very self-gratifying as you step up levels of your flow performance. It's amazing, and I'd like to see Jamestown get to experience that every week.
Thank you.
Any questions, or does anybody want to see what some of the flow props are? I can show that if anyone's interested.
I did
can't
send
fire
out
in the
your
building.
link.
I was gonna say, she sent the link.
Yeah, I sent the link
Okay,
for it.
I'd also like to thank you personally. This all started from reaching out to you.
I feel like it's been a while since we chatted about
It's
it.
been a long journey. It's gone through several avenues, and I'm excited to get started. I really am.
Good. We're very excited about it. In fact, I had it on my calendar tonight. This was, I think tonight's supposed to be the first session, but
No,
sounds
next
like
week.
next week.
Next week. Yeah.
I was
You do it-
actually sitting here looking, I was like, does he need to get down there? Because
No,
we're gonna be here for a bit.
no. This is our last week at our private
Okay.
location, and then next week starts again.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. We're very excited. I know you've had a chance to talk to not only parks but police
Mhm.
and a bunch of different ones. All
Fire
going to
chief.
show them fire chief,
Yeah.
show them how it works and how we do it. And you guys are gonna be down at McCray Point, I
Yes.
think.
Yep.
Okay. Just watch out for the geese.
That's my one concern. Dan's help when we scare him away.
Yeah.
Is what his
I'm
hopes are.
sure.
Yeah, that's my only concern with the area. It's such a beautiful park, it really is. And I used to live right up the street from it, and there's not many events that happen there. You know, so to have something to draw people to that park and actually get to enjoy it other than fishing and launching their boat, I think would be excellent.
Dan is a big fan. He's
Yeah.
made sure I got the application. He's like, it's coming, it's coming.
He's awesome.
So,
He's been
yeah,
so
he is.
helpful. He really is. Any questions? Excellent. Well, I thank you all for your time.
Great.
I really
Thank
do.
you.
Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. Okay. We had, I think, one other presentation. Is that right?
For the loan?
Yes.
Mhm. Over that. Up here.
Last but not least.
Last but not least.
Guys, would you like to come up?
And we're just gonna do this all in vote?
I think we're the only ones that came tonight that plan on paying the money back.
That's what I was thinking of. I didn't want to say it.
I'd like to be better spot
Yeah, you're easy, you're paying that.
They are, because they already have a loan for the chop house, and it's good standard.
So I know you guys have had a long meeting, so we'll just kind of hit the bullet points here for you. So, we've signed a sales agreement to purchase the Field and Right building. As you guys know, UCAN had purchased this before. We actually had an offer in on it, and they purchased it a little over our offer without giving us a chance to counter offer. So, so we were really excited to get the opportunity again to purchase that building, to further our investment into downtown Jamestown. Not sure if you guys are aware of this, but our ballroom right now off the Chop House, it can seat about 80 people. It's actually in the Field and Right building currently.
That's when you
along
go
with-
up the stairs.
Up the
It's in another
the
building.
four stairs.
So fascinating. It's so weird.
Yeah. Along with our walk-in cooler and freezer downstairs are also in the Field and Rec building. So with UCAN coming in, we had some huge concerns on continuing moving forward. The banquet room is a large part of our business and what we do. And not to mention, I didn't know where we were gonna put our food. So, so we had some challenges there. Amber and I discussed, the Field and Rec building, and our main goal is to extend that banquet facility. So, beside that room, it goes all the way back in that building. She came up with the ballroom on Main is what we would like to do. It would have an access from North Main Street, with a lobby, with a bar down there and a little cocktail reception area. And then you would go to the second floor, which would be our banquet facility, and that would seat, up to 300 people. So something we're really excited about, so.
Definitely a size that we're missing.
We need that.
Yeah, and I mean, our dedication to food and banquets, and we've been in the banquet business a long time. We have the banquet hall at the Village Casino upstairs. We're used to larger receptions, and I think that we can perform very well, and bring a venue to downtown that's really cool. So, tonight, we're really just asking for some funds to help us purchase the building. The building needs a new roof. It also needs a new LVL in there, just right away, just to make sure that it doesn't fall down, basically. So, so there's some pretty big expenses up front for us. The new roof came in at $186,000 for that building. The LVL alone is right around $30,000. And the total purchase price, I think, was $185, $190. 190, and we put 5 down, yeah. So basically from the city, we're looking for $140,350. It's 35% of our initial investment in the project. We are going to put up the other $45,000 to close, and we are going to put up the $215,000 to replace the roof and put the LVL in. From there, we will be probably a year down the road before we start construction on the ballroom. So I just kinda wanna be upfront and honest about that. That's kind of a long-term project for us. Control the space, get it fixed up so it's secured moving forward, and then invest the capital to really move that forward. We also really wanna put a speakeasy back there. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of those, but, just
Yeah.
really cool. You'd walk through the chop house, through the banquet room, and it would have a slide over bookshelf that goes up to kind of a private bar that's just really cool, so.
We used to go to those during Prohibition.
Yeah,
Take it back.
yeah. So we're really excited about the project. You know, not going back to the chop house and COVID and all of that, but, we opened 4 months ahead of COVID hitting, so,
Actually more like 3.
yeah.
December of 2019,
Yeah.
and it was December 19th, so it was 2 weeks before December ended, and then March hit,
Right.
so.
So when we first saw you about that loan that you guys approved to us, for us, you know, we projected about 27 employees. Today we have 38 employees at the chop house. We went through some serious growing pains through COVID, and, you know, we were lucky that we have other restaurants and we were able to really push things forward. But even with the loan that we took from you guys, we've always made a commitment to pay back and on time. We actually called during COVID and said, we're ready to start the loan back up. It went to just interest payments instead of, so you guys were gracious enough to help everyone out with principal through COVID, but we started that loan back up 3 months early, because we didn't wanna owe the money, we wanted to pay everything back. Always paid on time, we've always been good as far as that goes, so.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to add, you know, I support this completely, that's why I brought it to you, and I hope you had a chance to read this. Explains, you know, their experience and their whole portfolio, what they call the professional hospitality group. That's the parent company of all of their restaurants. And the reason that I wanted to bring this to you is because, most importantly, obviously, it meets the requirements for the JLDC loans, but also the addition of this business owned by the experienced and successful restaurant operators, in this building that is nearly vacant because you have all the levels, all the floors up. And, you know, that area of town needs as much help as it can get, and this would definitely secure it and really start to revitalize that area. I mean, we have some really good businesses started now. We've done a lot of work on the facades of the Mission and Venue 31, and of course, It's Your Day, but and the Chop House is incredible. So that one building, trying to get that stabilized and used, and that's, I think it's really gonna help that area of town.
And we do have a 5-year plan to develop the entire building, so that is still our ultimate game.
What about the businesses underneath there?
They're staying put currently, so, and they're very happy, we spoke with them, everybody's happy, and the nice part is the rents that are there currently cover this payment, so it's, you know, puts us in
Is this
better
the
shape.
print shop, and there's like a gym, and there's a
and-
barber, or?
No, the barber's in actual the Fenton building,
Oh, that's right, that's in there.
there's a storage rental, a lady rents it and, just stores stuff down there, so. The current rents, they're all long-term renters, they've all been there a long time, and that completely covers the commitment on the mortgage for this, which is nice.
Do they sell furniture? I'm just kidding.
Maybe 5 years from now, we don't know.
Yeah, it used to be like.
Sounds better than chicken wings, I don't know.
Don remembers that, right?
Yep,
Field and Wright.
I bought some
Did you have
furniture
any of
there.
that?
Depending on how strong the drinks are at the speakeasy, you might be buying furniture.
That's the real game plan.
Right. Yeah, so, and of course, this would be, you know, in our position, we would be the only one lending, so we would have, the first position on the building. Assignment of rents and leases for those tenants, and, personal guarantee, I have down from Amber, and we can discuss that if you wanted one from Andrew as well, but.
She's the real boss,
She's the real, yeah.
Heard it here first. Can we get that in writing?
It's probably written down somewhere. Are there any questions I can answer for you guys? This is really about, I mean, I don't know how many of you have been into the Chop House, but we are committed to downtown and really growing, all of the people that were in here before. I really thank them all for their services because we get a lot of business from all of them, which is great. But it's up to us to wow people coming in downtown. We want to be a part of what they're talking about when they're going home and talking about Jamestown. So I think we've done a pretty good job at that, and we will continue to move forward. So.
Well, thank you very much, I appreciate it, and thank you for sitting through all of this, I hope you
Yes.
found it as fascinating as I did, you know, knowing these businesses still.
Yeah.
It
It
was
was a lot, but there was a
Yeah.
lot of
Right.
really good information, so.
Right. Is there anything you guys need out of us?
Thank you very much for all the work that you guys currently do.
Yeah.
We very much appreciate it.
Continue to do it. We're excited about this building. So.
We're really excited to have you in it. I know we really wanted you to be in it the first go round, and
And I know you guys helped a lot with that and the development moving forward, and we appreciate all your help behind the scenes as well. So.
we are happy to have you in the city, and you know, you have a unique dining establishment that has kind of set a bar for that fine dining experience, and
Well, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, and we'll vote in executive session, correct?
no, that would be
No.
open session.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, you're welcome to stick around, but you don't have to.
Unfortunately, the kids are.
It's still a long
getting
night,
hungry,
okay.
so.
Do you wanna just vote on these before we go back, or?
Yeah, we could do that
That
for
way
you
they
guys.
don't have to sit around.
We have 5.
We have 5, yeah.
No,
Save the
Are you guys okay with voting on it?
I'm more than ready to vote, I mean.
All right.
Okay, we'll continue with these fund for downtown programming and the jobs and private investment loan. So first one that we had was the fund for downtown programming for the American Scandinavian Heritage Festival. That was at $7,200. Do we have a motion? So move second by Tony. Any questions or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I just wanna get on the boat.
Thank you.
Me too.
Next year, we're bringing ABBA here, we're gonna be on the streets with
I
ABBA.
love ABBA.
Not the real group.
Oh,
but anyway, sorry to interrupt.
The second one we had is the Fund for Downtown Program application by Junior Pyros, that was $10,200. Do we have a motion for approval? So moved by Vicky, second. Second by Tony, all those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right, that pass. We also have the Jobs and Private Investment Loan
I do
Request.
wanna mention one thing before this, did you notice the interest rate?
I'm gonna mention that.
Mention
now.
that,
Yep.
okay.
So Jobs and Private Investment Loan Request for Amber Carlson for the acquisition of Field and Wright Building. The terms of this loan would be a 10-year loan, $140,350 at a 4% fixed interest rate for the term of the loan.
Gladly sponsored.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Any questions or concerns?
Quick,
Go ahead.
quick point of reference, I don't know if this makes a difference or not. They employ my son very well, so I should probably recuse myself, so there's no impropriety going on.
We will have to vote a different day then.
Oh, you want me to
But
just
it,
leave?
no, it
No, there's
just
not a
needed a
quorum.
quorum.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
We don't
okay.
vote.
I think you're right.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
you certainly could
Can you
abstain.
abstain? Yeah, you can abstain, but can you do it via, like we have, so they're not.
Do a unanimous consent
Yeah.
resolution,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they don't.
Okay.
get
I can
voted
walk
out.
you through that if you.
I've done hundreds.
So it sounds like we'll table this, if that's okay with the
Sorry.
board. And we'll work on a unanimous consent resolution with the rest of the board. Is that okay with everyone?
That won't,
Um,
does that delay help anything?
well, my concern is, can we do that like tomorrow so that we
Yes.
can vote on this month at council?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
that's,
Yes.
put it under new business,
Sure.
cause it's over,
So we're 100,000.
yeah, so that doesn't
Yeah,
delay
it's
them
good.
another month?
Yep,
Totally like that.
absolutely.
We're just ready to fire your son.
Oh, please, no,
No,
don't do that.
He doesn't work there anymore. We just-
Yeah, but then he could work for me,
Oh,
if he would.
I see. So we'll table this resolution at this point. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you
guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for.
That's
sticking
no,
with us.
I, no.
Okay,
Don't
be
get out in
sorry.
the open.
No, that's smart, that's
Yeah.
really,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
glad you
good.
caught that.
We've had enough.
so we'll
Yeah.
consider that for further discussion.
Thank you.
We had presentations, but I'd love to just approve the meeting minutes while we have a quorum, if that's okay, folks have reviewed those. Sorry, we're jumping around. So moved by Tony, second. Second by Vicky, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. I do not believe we need to do anything for the financial reports, although if there's any questions,
No.
I think it's up to May 30th so far. It's in your packet, I believe. Okay, great. So let's then talk about the ARPA nonprofit business grant program. We had presentations, I believe, from all of the entities at this point.
Yes, that is correct.
Excellent. And at this point, based on the amount requested, which is 2.7 million, and I believe it's only funded 1.5. So if anyone's got some change in the cupboards, you want
Just one time, two.
Well,
What are you, I guess, what is your goal right now? I mean, cause there's so many people absent, I guess I'm concerned that
There's
there's
a
a few,
discussion.
are any of these forget it. Any of these urgent so that they need them like an approval? I mean, most of these anyway would have to go in front of council if approved at that amount anyway, but obviously we can't do all of it, but.
can I make a suggestion that, since we just finished tonight, I mean, obviously we have a shortfall. So, we either have to add more ARPA money, which, I don't know if that's gonna happen, or there has to be, the question is, do you eliminate some of these to get down to the 1.5, or do you decrease each one of them by a certain amount, or varying amounts, to get it down to 1.5? So I mean, we have like 3 or 4 different choices there of options to choose from, or a combination
Of
thereof.
all, yeah.
What I think I'm hearing you say, Tony, is you'd like a staff review these
That's what
projects
I was gonna
and a
say.
recommendation.
Do we have a staff recommendation?
Right. I mean,
Is that
literally, you got-
accurate?
I mean, the options you have would be, I'm not saying that we're gonna do that, you could add 1.2 million more and pretty much close the kitty out and give everybody what they want, or you can decrease everybody by an equal percentage, or you can then weigh them and decrease some more than others, or you can eliminate some completely and fund totally others. So I guess that's kind of the
Although-
menu of options.
Although not related to this group, but as my role as the finance chair, I already have concerns of what is left with ARPA without a accurate report of what has been allocated and expended, that I'd be hesitant to add any more
Right,
to
no, I just,
this.
like I say, it's an
So,
option. I'm not
that's
saying-
my recommendation to you guys in your evaluation. I'd like to see what we could do with the 1.5 first that was already allocated.
I would agree with you, Kim. I don't think I'd be in
Yeah,
favor of
no,
that.
I was just throwing that out as that's an option if people felt they wanted to go that way. And again, I think Kim's correct, because of the, I don't think any of these are expecting us to, I don't think we should make a decision tonight. And I think that,
And
I would say by the July meeting, we should be able to have something definitive to
yeah.
move forward, 'cause-
I guess my question to you, I never really quite understood it, and you guys wrote it in the grant that way, that capped at 200,000 unless, like, what is that unless? What deems that necessary
What
to
was-
go above that 200,000?
Yeah, so it was really up to the applicant to make their case for why that additional is requested and how that will impact the community, meet all of the criteria, right, to the kind of the burden of proof, right? And then the way it was written is anything above the 200,000 threshold will be considered. So it's not a,
So there's-
Understood that, but I guess, here's my caveat to you,
Mhm.
because we have a couple of them that are over that 200,000.
there's 3.
There's two. Oh, three, yes.
yeah,
So
it's
there's
confusing
like
it.
no weighting criteria from the staff to say it meets X, Y, and Z to warrant giving them over 200,000. That is my concern.
Sure, not to give it over, but there is a rubric score for each one.
Correct.
So they were scored based on the strength of their applications and how they meet the criteria.
The other thing I looked at too is the percentage of it. I mean, the Y asked for the most amount of money, but still only 3% versus the Robert H. Jackson or the National Comedy Center, which is 50% of their asking what their project cost is.
Well, and when you
And then you've
combine-
got, the collaborative children's solution, it's almost 80% of what they need for their, so again, that kind of weighs in there too, as a percentage of how much, what impact does this amount of money gonna have on the total project, I guess,
Right.
is a better way to say it.
And if you look at the percentage costs against the rubric number, you've got a big disparity
Mm-hmm.
for how much they're asking.
Under the terms of the grant proposal, anything that was considered over $200,000 would be subject to a negotiated pilot agreement for the not-for-profit agency.
Right. I guess maybe I'm not clear in explaining what my concern is. As all of us know, we have faced a variety of criticism about a various amount of things. I guess you're gonna have to have the same ruling in judging on if we decide to go over 200,000 for all those 3 things. Because if you are not fair and equitable with some type of criteria, that
I don't
could be
think so.
potentially dangerous. So, that is my suggestion to you, however you wanna take those words, but I just feel because we left it in, it's possible, yes, there's a pilot, but we didn't give any rules for how we're going to apply that above 200,000, so.
Does that suggestion sound, you go back,
Yeah, I think there's some work that can be done with staff talking to those organizations.
and then we'll have another JLDC meeting before the July voting session,
Right.
so we'd have time to discuss once again, anything you guys, the staff has come up with as a recommendation, discuss it here and potentially vote on it to push it to city council.
I mean, all of them have a huge impact, some tug at heartstrings more than others, and some are, you know,
Every single
more
one,
more necessary for physical infrastructure. They all have a purpose, but I
there's a
think
lot of
we-
similarities, but there's a lot of differences. But they all, I mean, there's kind of a reoccurring theme of, you know, education and helping children and then, you know, impact on the community, you know, historical stuff and that kind of thing. So they all kind of have, you know, they're different but similar in a lot of ways.
So maybe one thing that we can do, and, you know, we'll go back and we'll talk about this, as an internal team and make some suggestions, things to consider. You know, when we apply for grants through the state, there are maximum percentages that the state will allow for a match. So the applicant has to have, right, however much.
Mhm.
And different programs are different. Sometimes they'll pay for 20% of your total project cost, and sometimes the state will pay for 80% of your total project cost. So I think that's something that we can consider and go back and maybe have some subsequent conversations with the applicants. And, you know, I don't want to, I don't wanna put any of them in a position where their project or their, whatever their ask is, you know, what we grant them is helpful, but it doesn't have enough of an impact to allow them to do whatever it is that they're
I was gonna
asking
ask
for.
that
And it's kind of
question
all over the
over
board,
here.
right? Some of it is adding additional staffing and kind of, you know, like RTPI, that position particularly that Arthur talked about will take them into a new future direction. That's very different than bell tower reconstruction
Sure.
and historic preservation projects. So we'll talk through some of that and see if we can
Yeah,
come
the
up with
question
some
I would
different
ask is
ideas.
that any cut in the ask, will it have a negative impact?
What kind of impact will that
We're
have?
to the point
Yep.
where they can't do the project at all, or would they be, hey, give me $10 and we're happy, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
We'll take what we can get versus, if we don't get this amount, we can't do it.
We'll see what we can come up with and we'll send it out to everybody in the next, probably give us a week to really have time to go through them, especially because we're in, homeowner mini grant
Yeah.
chaos right now. It's great, lots of interest.
I'll bet. I got,
Application deadline ends when?
The 30th.
30th, so you
Yeah.
got quite some time and you're already inundated.
Uh-huh,
that's good though, I mean, it's a good
yeah.
problem.
So with that being said, we'll go back to new
The
business.
agenda.
Is there any other new business for this board? I do have one item of note for the board, which is, we did receive a letter from the comptroller's office that JLDC will be undergoing an audit, specifically on the internal financial controls. So that will start, next week.
Yeah, we have
This Thursday.
our kickoff.
This coming Thursday, or
This Thursday,
next,
we'll
next
get-
Thursday, the 29th.
Next Thursday, the 29th, will be the first, will be a kickoff conference with the comptroller's office. So we'll keep you guys apprised of anything, along the way. So they anticipate it should be very quick. So I think they said that they'd be on site, next week, and then 2 weeks after that, they'd be back. So,
Keep us informed.
yep, of course.
Can you make sure to put that in Jeff's, packet?
Mhm.
I'm sure he didn't print one, and he'll probably wanna read.
Oh, these, yes, we have an extra one.
Yeah, he'll probably wanna read through those.
Sounds good. Any other further business come before this board? Okay, I do not believe there's any executive session items. So with that, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, do I get a vote?
Any opposed?
Aye.
If not,